Very good morning. Welcome back to this session. In this session, I'm going to solve one problem belongs to three-phase model, growth model. Okay, so if the dividend is growing in a three different model, normally the first few years there will be a growth, then decline, then again growth, a constant growth, in indefinite growth. Then how to solve the problem? So it's a three-phase growth model. Okay, so I'll read out the question for you, then I'll solve. Very easy, step by step we need to go. Of course it is a very lengthy problem, so but very easy. Logic you need to understand, the concept if you understand, then it will be very easy for you. Let me read out the question for you. For the first 4 years, XYZ form is assumed to grow at the rate of 10%. The first phase is 10%. After 4 years, the growth rate of a dividend is assumed to be declining. See, here it is declining linearly. Very important. This word is very important. Linearly. I'll let you know what is the meaning of linearly. To 6%. To 6%. After 7 years, that is the third phase, the firm is assumed to grow at the rate of 6% infinitely. The next year dividend is 2. This is rupees 2. Please change. This is rupees 2. And the required rate of return is 14%. Find out the value of the stock. Very simple question, straightforward question. But there is a three stages. So the first stage with 10% growth rate, the second stage that is declining linearly 6%. After 7 years, the firm is assumed to grow the rate of 6% infinitely. Okay, the next year dividend is rupees 2. Okay, so how to go about? First, we have to write down the given. So write down the given. Dividend D0 is rupees 2, correct? Then required rate of return, that is G, right? So, sorry, R is equal to 14%, correct? Please, yeah, 14% required rate of return, RRR. Then we can say the first growth rate that is GA is equal to 10%. Then GB is linearly, GB is 6%, decline 6% linearly, 6% up to 6%, up to 6%. So from 10 to 6, I'll teach you. I'll make you understand what is the meaning of linearly decrement. Okay. Then the next, that is G N, indefinite growth rate. That is how much? 6%. 6%. Now this is the question, right? So step by step we need to go. So first, write down the formula. It's a bigger formula. Kindly write down the formula. Then step 1, we need to solve the step 1. Step 1, we need to go. In step 1, so the first stage is first 4 years. Okay. So we need to be very careful. First 4 years. That is here the next year dividend. So there will be no growth for that. That is directly the 2 rupees is a dividend. So we should not show it any growth. 2 rupees divided by. So I am taking this part, the first part, step number 1. 2 rupees is a dividend, D0 is 2. So we should not grow, we should not take it as a growth rate because it's a next year dividend rate. Then 1 plus R, that is 1 plus 0.14 raised to 1. Right? So then plus, see the first 4 years it is. We need to write down for the 4 years. Next is 2 into 1 plus GA, that is 10%, 0.1 raised to 2, sorry, raised to 1, then this is 1 plus 0.14 raised to 2, goes on for 4 years. So the difference is, it's a second year, the next year dividend is given, so there is a no growth rate. Okay, in second year onwards there is a growth for 4 years. This is the first step. Any doubt, please let me know. This is 1 and 2. ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ. Very good. Yes. See here, the dividend is given next year dividend. So directly the first year dividend is 2. Then the second year it will start growing at the rate of 10%. Are understanding? Right? So idu required rate of return we are bringing to the present value. So directly it is 1 in the start ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. This is intentionally. So what is the value? Can anyone say? The answer for this, step by step, 6.65. 6.65. Done. Shall I go with the second step? Step 2. The second part of the formula, that is this declining formula, declining part. Please listen. Afterwards you can write down. This is very important. Now stop writing. I hope you got this 6.65. Now stop writing. Listen. I am explaining now step number 2. That is the second part of this formula. The second stage will be declining linearly to 6%. 10% in the 6% tanka now linearly we should show the declining. How to do that? Please listen. Please listen. Afterwards you can write down. Concentrate. Second stage, second step, the second part of the formula, dt minus 1. We have to take the previous year dividend. So this part we have to take. Okay, this part, that is 2 into 1 plus 0.1 raised to 3. This is a dividend of the previous year, right? Then, so from 10% it start declining. The first year linearly means, okay, for first year it is 9%, because from 10% to next is 9%. Okay, 9%. How to write down? 1 plus 0.09. So nothing. There is no power. Then divided by 1 plus r, that is 14%. This is which year? To the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth year. Please listen. Listen carefully. Try to understand. Next part, 2 into 1 plus 0.1 raised to 3. This is 9%. Second part will be 8%. Okay. This will be 1 plus 0.14 raised to 6. Then, see next how many years? Up to 6%, right? After 7th year, there is a growth. This is 4 years, then this is 3 years. 2 into 1 plus 0.1 raised to 3, 1 plus 0.09, 1 plus 0.08 into again 1 plus 0.07 whole divided by 1 plus 0.14 raised to 7. This is the second part. Try to understand the previous year dividend, that is 2 into 1 plus 0.1 raised to 3, same thing, 9% decrease, from 10% to 9% decrease, right? Then again this that is required rate of return rise to 5. Now with this 9%, same thing, again we need to multiply with the 8%, with the required rate of return rise to 6. Then again the same thing with even 7%, because it is clearly mentioned linearly declining. So 9%, second 8%, then again 7%. Linearly means it is growing, I mean declining in linearly. So step by step, that is 9, 8, then 7. This is the second part of this problem. Step by step you can solve and let me know the answer for this. ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿದಿಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್, ಗುಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಲಿಸನ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ 4 years ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಓಕೆ, 10% ಇಂದ 6% ತನಕ ನಮಗೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 7th year ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 7th year ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 4th year, the second stage should be of 3 years, because 7th year onwards ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, third phase start ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So the first stage is 4 years ಅಂತ clearly mention ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Second stage should be of 3 years, because after 7 years ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Third stage ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That is the reason up to 7 years na ತಗೋ. Second step answer 4.27. Have you got 4.27? Shall I go with the step 3? Right. Step 3. That is third part of this formula. Okay, now which dividend we have to take? The last year dividend. Entire part we have to take. Either we can write down the entire part or directly the answer, no problem. So I'm going to write down the same thing, because to make you understand, that is instead of DB, okay, I'm writing 2 into 1 plus 0.1 raised to 3, then into 1 plus 0.09, 1 plus 0.08, then 1 plus 0.07. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಇರ್ತದೆ. Okay, the same dividend, right? Same dividend, that is DB. Now I am writing 1 plus GN. What is the growth rate for the third phase? 6%. How to write that? 1 plus 0.06. Any doubt after this? Is it clear? Okay. Then whole divided by R, that is required rate of return, minus GN, that is 0.14 minus 0.06. That into 1 plus 0.14, that is R, rise to B, that is for 7 year onwards. Very, very simple. So up to this part, I'll tell you once again, up to this part, this is the dividend of the previous year, and this part is 1 plus GN, 1 plus GN, right? That is R minus GN, this two. Then the last 1 plus R raised to B, that is for the 7-year onwards. Now add all the three answers of step number 1, 2, 3. Is it 17.77? The overall answer for step 3 is 17.77. Now answers of step 1, 2 and 3 you should sum up. The first one is, what is the first step answer? 6.65 plus 4.27 plus 17.77, 28, 28.69 or 7. No problem. It's the final answer. Rupees. The value of the stock is rupees 28.69. The present value of the stock is 28.69.